Welcome. Let's talk a bit about innovation. Most work follows a very simple formula. You start with a good plan, you do a good job executing that good plan, and you get great results. If your plan isn't good, or you don't do a good job executing on that plan, your results are less than desirable. We can diagram it rather simply. Here's a column for good plan, a column for bad plan, row for good execution, row for bad execution. The results, what you'd expect, good results in the good execution, good plan category, bad results elsewhere. But what about that column, that quadrant where we have a bad plan and bad execution? It would be really easy to say, well, obviously we get bad results. And most of the time, that is true. Most of the time. This is where it gets really interesting and starts getting rather insightful. There is an exception where a bad plan followed badly can actually lead to good results. The way it works is this. I'm a good guy, working hard, trying to do the right thing. I'm following my plan. I'm doing a good job. I'm in the good execution, bad plan category because, well, I just happen to have gotten a bad plan. Not my fault. It was given to me. But I realize this plan isn't going to work. So as I'm working down the plan, I start to amend it. I start to change it because I know that it's just not working. Well, by definition, I'm badly executing the plan. I'm no longer good executing. I'm badly executing it because I'm not following the plan. But by not following the plan, I start inserting other things into the plan that actually move that from being a bad plan over into the good plan category. And lo and behold, I just have a lucky day and I get everything right and I have a good plan and good results as a result of changing the plan on the fly. So it is possible to teleport from bad plan, bad execution into the good plan, good execution category. And now granted, 1,000 to 1 against it. The odds are not good, but it can happen. And it actually holds a great deal of insight into innovation that I'd like to dig into a lot deeper. First, let's review innovation. Wikipedia defines it as the practical implementation of ideas that result in the introduction of new goods or services, or improvement in offering goods or services. So, kind of in a nutshell, new products or new processes. New is the key term. So, generally, when people approach innovation, they try to create a plan. However, when you try to plan something new that's never been done before, what happens? You plan badly. And I went ahead and put a spoiler on the screen because, well, I kind of wanted everyone to know it doesn't work well. It's new. It's something that's never been done before. How are you going to create a good plan for it? Well, let's dig into that a little deeper. Planning for innovation is, in fact, guesswork. Plans contain numerous decisions that are both intentional and unconscious decisions. In fact, those unconscious, unintentional decisions are oftentimes more important than the intentionally made decisions. If something that's being planned that's brand new, that's never been done before, the unconscious decisions are even more critical because assumptions are being made about something that is not understood. So the odds that you would just happen to make the right decisions as you lay out the plan is essentially impossible. And one bad decision can doom a plan. It's like walking up to a piano and just taking my fingers and just pressing down randomly on the keys and expecting Mozart to come out. It's just not going to happen. You've got to know the path that leads you from one place to another in order to have a plan. That's what a plan infers is knowledge. When you're creating something new, you don't have that knowledge. So therefore, any kind of plan that you try to lay out is literally like walking up to the piano and banging your hands down on the keyboard. It's going to produce discordant sounds. Therefore, all innovative plans are bad plans. If we go back here, scroll back to our little diagram, it puts us into that bad plan category with bad results. The only way that we can get out of that is if we do a bad job executing on those bad plans. Now, I know this is like mind-blowing, and maybe I should just pause here for a minute and just like, okay, the only way to make an innovation successful is to do a bad job executing on the already known to be bad plans. Any plan that is made for innovation, you know up front is going to be a bad plan. So you know that you should do a bad job executing on it. And my bad job is don't follow the plan, okay? So, wow. So let's dig into that a little bit deeper. What do we do in this kind of situation where we're stuck in a situation where doing a good job following our bad plan is going to lead to bad results? We need to do a bad job following the bad plans. That's our only chance for success, which is not a very good chance. Like I said, 1,000 to 1 against. So how in the world do you make innovation even work at all? Okay, this is mind-blowing. This is probably very different than any of you have ever heard before. But the answer is you don't plan. You set a goal. You set directions that you want to go. But don't waste your time making a detailed plan because it's not going to work. Now, make this very clear. This is for innovation, new processes, new products. If you know the path to get from A to B, then plan. Make a plan, follow it. Like I said, the main formula is good plan, good execution equals good results. Innovation is different because you don't start with a good plan. You don't have a good plan. In fact, with innovation, what you're seeking is good results, good execution, and the unknown element is the plan. The part of the formula that you want to find is not the results or the execution, it's the plan. Finding the plan is the innovation. So therefore, having a plan to get to the innovation doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, that's probably pretty wild, pretty out there, pretty bold to say, but the logic does take you down this path. And from my own personal experience, it's absolutely true. The truth of the experience does match that logic. A good plan is the result of innovation. If you've innovated correctly, the end result is a plan. That plan can then be taken and used for productive purposes. So, the plan for innovation only becomes fully apparent after the innovation is completed. After it's done, then the innovation can be turned to productive use using our standard model. So if I have a prototype car and I've got it working well, now I need to simply replicate that car as a production model. So a good plan, good execution to get good results. If I've developed a new process and refined it, troubleshot it, and found that it works very, very well for what I'm trying to get done, I now have a good plan. I can now execute that plan well and produce good results. Far too often, good innovators develop great plans, i.e. great innovations, and then they fail to pass those on to other people who are good at executing those plans. They just get bored and they move on. And that benefit of that innovation gets lost. And then also far too many often, people who are great at executing plans fail to reach out to the people who are good at creating new, excellent new good plans. And they end up using just old processes and old ways that they're familiar with to produce results, when if they had changed out their plan, they could get better results. So this is very important to understand these two aspects of this equation and how they need to pull together in order to actually leverage the benefits of innovation. Because innovation itself is not productive. It's simply creating a new plan. Once you create that plan, then it becomes productive operationally with good execution to have good results. So there's no room in this world for innovators to think of themselves as superior to other people, the people who do the work. nor is there room for people who do the work to think of themselves as superior to the people who innovate. The fact is, we need each other in order to produce our results. So, if we are trying to innovate, how are we going to manage innovation? And I point back to that concept that we covered at the very beginning, where a bad plan following badly can sometimes lead to good results. We want to leverage that, but perhaps in some sort of a more disciplined fashion than simply following a bad plan and going, wow, this stinks, let's try something different. So how do we do that? What's the art of finding a good plan look like? And this alone is a topic worth multiple videos, but let me just sketch out a few of the ideas that I think are important in that. First of all, learning, particularly those unconscious decisions that are made. Those need to be exposed through understanding the area in which you're working in. So the innovation is constantly learning about new things, new ideas, new everything, because you don't know what details are going to have an impact on decisions that you need to make. So learn. Second, avoid problems. In innovation, there is no glory or honor in solving a problem. Avoid problems. Solving a problem is literally the last-ditch thing you do. If everything else fails, then you solve the problem. I watched a presentation Elon Musk made about some of his engineering techniques, and one of his top ways of dealing with things is if you have a problem, eliminate the part. Because if the part is eliminated, the problem goes away. So avoiding, the general class of avoiding problems, that's huge in innovation. And that's also one reason why you can't really plan, because plans have a tendency to run straight through problems, and you want to avoid them. Second, you want to pursue opportunities, because again, innovation is the art of finding the plan that leads you to your solution. So ultimately, the best plan possible is going to be a plan that avoids problems and exploits as many opportunities as possible. So you want to be extremely flexible, avoiding your problems and pursuing opportunities and learning the whole time, because the learning is what exposes problems and opportunities. And then lastly, you need to turn those discoveries into practical results. Package up the results of the innovation as a good plan that can then be used by other people to produce good results. So that good plan plus the good execution equaling the good results. So thank you, and I hope to see you again next time.